Fun math fact, two negatives, if added together or multiplied together, make a positive. This is Miss Miller's math show.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. I feel the need to correct one thing about what was just said. Two negatives when added together make another negative. Two negatives when multiplied together are positive. Everybody give it up for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We are doing nothing new today. We are actually taking two concepts that we have learned before and we are fusing them together into one giant concept. All right. So here's what we are doing. Let me just cover up part of this problem and see if you guys can help me out with this. X squared minus 3x minus 28. Can anybody remember from last week, we went through a process to factor something like this. Can anybody remember what that process was or how to start me out? Aiden. Okay, was it a perfect square trinomial? Clap if you think this is a perfect square trinomial. Clap if you think that it is not a perfect square trinomial. Okay? Someone have another way that they think might... Well, okay, wait. Let me back up. Why is this not a perfect square trinomial? Sloan. Shh.
Because the number in the middle is 2 times.
Okay, so good. So is there a perfect square root of 28? I almost said 25. No. That should be your first clue. It's not a perfect square trinomial. But she also said if there was perfect square here, and they'd have to multiply by 2 to get what's in the middle, and they do not. So, what's another way? X cubed minus 3x minus 28. Desi. Cool. Everybody give it up for Desi. Do the diamond. The diamond. All right. It's x squared. Did I say x cubed?
Yeah.
Oh, x squared. Sorry. Everybody give it up for Lorenzo for pointing out that I said something wrong. Yay. Okay. Yay. You should get the whole full visual going too. What was it? Hey. Okay. All right. So, what goes in the top? Liz. Cool. Give it up for Liz. All right. Now, why is it negative 28? Someone explain where the negative 28 came from. Zach.
It's 1 times negative 28, so we just get negative 28.
All right. Everybody give it up for Zach. 1 times negative 28 is negative 28. And what goes in the bottom?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Why negative 3? Where did that come from? Somebody, okay, Zach has his hand up. Nicely done. B goes into the bottom. B for bottom. Oh, I like that. Everybody give it up for Zach. Nicely done. B for bottom. A. B for bottom. All right. What goes in the sides? So everybody should be thinking of two numbers that can go into the sides. What's up? Tyler. No, what is it?
Negative 7.
Negative 7 and? 4. Cool. Everybody give it up for Tyler.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. Now, where did he get those two numbers? Did he pull them out of thin air? Because
Yes, I did. Because I magic like that.
he is magic. All right. Also known as Samantha. How did he get those numbers?
He looked at what could be multiplied to go into the top and what could be added together to go into the bottom.
Excellent. Give it up for Samantha. Let me repeat what she just said. She said it can be multiplied to the top. So negative 7 times 4 is negative 28 and added to the bottom. So negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. What next? And we'll speed up the process in a bit here. Olivia. Excellent. So what goes on top here and here? Olivia. X and X. All right, everybody give it up for Olivia. Now, this is x squared. If it was x to the 12th, what would go on the top of each of these? Tyler? X to the 6th. Give it up for Tyler. All right, now what? Alyssa.
X minus 7.
Uh-huh.
X plus 4.
Cool, everybody give it up for Alyssa. Okay, so clap if you agree that that was all review. That better be all of us, unless you're absent, then you get a pass. What's up, Zach?
There's more.
But wait, there is more. Because we have an equal 0 on the end.
Done.
Go ahead, Shuggy. Oh, God. Go ahead, what's up?
I know.
box has a... We've done this before too. And I'll say this, everybody always forgets how to do it from here. But it is like the easiest thing ever. Clap if you think you know what to do, but you're not sure. Ooh, that's good. Okay, so Samantha.
You put both of the parentheses into two separate equations that both equal 0.
All right, everybody give it up for Samantha. Oh, I like that. You guys should just, you know what you should be doing? We should try this out. We should just have you all, as soon as you think something in your head, make a visual representation of it in some, or make an audible representation of it. Okay. So like everybody was like, oh. That, and it's weird because you all did it at the same time. What's up, Thane?
Do you want to do that on one? Because if they're being multiplied, then that means that equals 0.
Ah, it's what this is saying is that x could equal whatever we get here, or it could equal this. Because if x equaled this parentheses, 0 times anything gives you 0. What it could be 0 here as well. So that's what we're doing. Zach.
Is that it? Or
Okay, how do we solve this?
we add 7 to both sides for that one. And
Cool.
Then we subtract 4 from both sides.
Cool, everybody give it up for Zach. All right, now are we done? Did we solve for x?
Yeah.
Cool. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
That was very easy, right? Next. X squared plus 8 minus 6x equals 0. Where do I start with this one? Alyssa.
Could you do the... Oh, you have to switch around the equations from highest to lowest.
Cool, descending orders, which would be what, Alyssa?
X squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0.
All right, everybody give it up for Alyssa. She said put it in descending order. If we tried to do something with it written the way that it is right here, it would not have worked. Very easily, anyways. Okay, now what? Okay, good. So we can do another diamond. Who can tell me? Everybody shout out as loud as you can. What goes in the top? Now.
8.
That was sad. Okay, now shout as loud as you know what I'm going to ask next. How many people clap if you think you know what I'm going to ask next? Okay, which means we're all alive. That's good. So shout as loud as you can. What goes in the if I can spit it out. What goes in the bottom of the diamond?
Negative 6.
Our yelling needs a little work. You know, so at home we're practicing with my daughter. We're practicing quiet voice and loud voice, and so my husband will be like, "Okay, Sophie, be loud," and she'll ah, and then okay, be quiet. She's like, ah. Maybe we should practice that in here too.
Yeah.
You guys need some quiet, loud adjustments. All right. So everybody should be getting numbers in their heads for the two numbers inside. Alan?
Left side -4, on the right side -2.
Okay, clap if you agree that on the left should be -4 and on the right should be -2. Clap if you agree with that. Okay, well now wait a minute. Clap if you agree. What if I like the -2 on the left better?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so that's okay if I switch them? All right, cool. I'm not going to because this is a pen that can't be erased, but I could switch them. All right, now what? Everybody give it up for Alan. Did we do that already?
No.
Okay, no. Oh, okay. Alyssa.
X minus 4 and x minus 2.
Cool. Everybody give it up for Alyssa.
Yeah.
X minus 4, x minus 2. Whoop, 4. Whoops, see? I gravitated toward that 2 on the left. Okay, so then, Zach?
X equals 4, x equals 2.
Cool. Everybody give it up for Zach. All right.
So that's the answer when you're done.
That's it. Yep, that's the answer when you're done. Questions?
Oh,
Zach?
There is more.
There is more. Yes, give it up. There is more.
There is more.
Yeah.
What's up, Cole? I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Alright, so you have x minus 4 and x minus 2.
Yep.
Why are the minus signs not
Because what we have to do here is say x minus 4 equals 0, and then you have to add 4 to both sides, so you get x equals 4. And then this one is x minus 2 equals 0. You see that? Okay, plus 2, so x equals 2. Cool? Other questions? It's always the, good. So Samantha just said it's always the opposite sign of what's in the parentheses. Good. Other questions? This is the hardest problem on the planet, this next one, you guys. Hardest problem on the planet, and it's going to be on all of your tests from this point on, or one that's very similar to this.
Oh my god.
Okay, so, Taylor.
Don't you just subtract 16x to get 0?
Cool, everybody give it up for Taylor.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the goal in all of these problems. We want to have, whenever we have a letter that's squared or raised to some power, we want to get everything to one side and 0 to the other, because we want to use this property that we've been using in the last couple of examples where we set it equal to 0. We can't do that if there's no equal 0 on the end. It's called the zero product property. So, now, what next? Sloan.
Can I take out 8x?
Cool, everybody give it up for Sloan. We can take out 8x. Okay, this is where people get stuck, by the way. They look at that and they go, I have no idea how to solve that. Actually, it starts at the very beginning. Like, people look at that and they're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Then, factor out an 8x. What are we left, Sloan? What's in the parentheses?
X minus
Cool, everybody give it up again for Sloan. Okay, now what? This is the next part where people always get stuck. Alyssa?
never mind, I jumped ahead. But you take that one in the parentheses,
Uh-huh.
and it's x equals 2.
Good, so you would say x minus 2 equals 0. Add 2, add 2. Everybody give it up for Alyssa. Okay, Samantha?
Do you multiply 2 by 8 now because that's what's on the outside?
Not quite. We don't multiply 2 by 8. Zach?
Do we make 0 into 2 and then
0 into 2 and then divide. Not quite. Lorenzo?
8x equals 0?
Ah, cool. Everybody give it up for Lorenzo. 8x also equals 0. Okay. Now, would it help if I put parentheses around this? If we look at all the other ones that we had up to this point, whoops, it's getting dim. Okay, we had sets of parentheses, right? We could solve for 0. If I put parentheses around that, does that help?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Okay. So anytime you're setting any of the factors equal to 0, any of them. 8x is also a factor. We factor 8x out, right? Well, if we factor it out, isn't it a factor? Okay. So we have to set the factor equal to 0 as long as there's a variable in it.
So when we
So then, how do we? It says 8 times x. Alyssa?
do you divide it?
Good. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. What's 0 divided by 8?
X equals 0.
Just like that. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right, how are we doing on questions? Okay. Next. 12y squared minus 3y equals 9. So on the last problem we said we always start by doing something. Aiden?
Could you factor out 3y?
We could. We have it equals to 9 on the right. Is there any way we can... That's good. Everybody give it up for Aiden. Okay, now, Aiden started by saying on the left what we could factor out of 3y, which if it was written like that would be absolutely correct. But we want to get it to equal 0 first and then see if there's anything that can be factored out. So can you guys tell me, is there anything for 12y squared, negative 3y, and negative 9? Olivia? Cool, everybody give it up for Olivia. All right, so when we factor out 3, what are we left with in the parentheses? Cole.
4y squared.
Good.
Y.
Good.
Minus y.
Cool, everybody give it up for Cole. All right, I'm going to bring this 3 down. Let's carry him through all the way, him or her through all the way. And then, how do I factor the 4y squared minus y minus 3? What do I do there? Zach! Was that a hand?
No.
Oh.
Yes? Okay. I'm just going to go for it. So it would be 2y minus y
No, okay, not necessarily.
plus
Okay, that would be if it's a difference of 2 squares, which we don't necessarily have here. Anybody think of anything else? Sloan? Okay, good. The diamond. Give it up for Sloan. I would say this. Always try that out and see if it works. 4y squared minus y minus 3. What goes in the top of the diamond? Aiden?
-1.
Cool. Where'd you get that?
Because it'd be 4 times -3.
Cool. He said 4 times -3. Everybody give it up for Aiden. Hey. Now, some people would look at that and go, just bear with me here, this is going to get kind of redundant. Some people would say, wait, on all the other problems, we ended up just putting this last one in here. Why is that not right again? Thane?
Because there's
It doesn't have to do with 3 being prime necessarily. Anything? So the question was, a lot of times if we look back at some of these other problems, we ended up bringing down just the -28. Or like in the very first one, we ended up just bringing down the 8 here. So why is it that in this one we have a 12? Why are these numbers different? Liz? Good. Everybody give it up for Liz. So what she just said was, you always multiply A times C. The other ones had an invisible 1 here, so it looked like we were just bringing that down, but 4 times -3 is -12. All right, what goes in the bottom? Deanna. Cool. Everybody give it up for Deanna. All right, I'm going to make you all think about this too. A lot of people would look at that and go, wait a minute, why is it -1? There's nothing in front of that y. Shouldn't it be a 0? Okay, somebody convince me why this should not be a 0 instead of a negative, or like a -0 or something. Aiden?
Because there's an imaginary 1 in front of the y.
Good. There's an imaginary 1 in front of the y. Everybody give it up for Aiden. All right, so 2 numbers that multiply to -12 and add up to -1 are, drumroll, Deanna?
3 and 4.
Good. Everybody give it up for Deanna. 3 and -4. Everybody give it up for Deanna. That was sad. Okay, now what? 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 Sloan, do you have a headache?
No, I don't know why it's the time change with me so sleepy.
Oh, yes, right.
We did. We had daylight savings
No,
time
I can't
yesterday.
make myself sleep longer.
All right, Liz, go for it.
Okay, so you have to set on the top of 3 and 4, you put a 4 line.
Cool. Very good. Everybody give it up for Liz.
Yeah.
Okay, now, can either of those fractions be reduced? Yell it out, yes or no?
1.
1.
4 and -4.
Okay, good. 4 and -4, those reduce to what?
-1y.
Good. We have a y on the top and a -1. They can both be divisible, or they both can be divisible. They both are divisible by 4. So those are our 2 factors. So somebody read to me what it looks like when I bring down all of our factors. Zach, is that a hand again? Go ahead.
3 parentheses.
Uh-huh.
4y over 3.
Plus 3. Plus 3. Okay, good.
Like parentheses and y minus
Cool. Everybody give it up for Zach. Then, the next step, you guys clap if you agree that the next step is to bring down all of the factors and set them equal to 0. Clap if you agree that I'm doing this right. Okay. Everything's right up there? I have 3 equals 0, 4y plus 3 equals 0, and y minus 1 equals 0. All right. What do I do next? Aiden?
So you would,
Pick one of them and solve it.
y minus 1 equals 0. You would add 1.
All right.
It would become y equals 1.
All right, everybody get it up for Aiden. Next. What would I do next? Is there another one that can be solved, Thane? What do I do?
Subtract 3 from both sides.
Good. 4y equals -3.
And I don't know if you can do this, but put the -3 over 4 and divide -3 over 4.
That's good. So we divide by 4, and we get y equals -3/4. Everybody give it up for Thane. Okay? Now, lastly, 3 equals 0. What do I do with that? How do I solve? Okay. How do I solve for that? They all look confused. Zach?
Just make it into -3, and that's it.
Okay. Clap if you agree that I can just make this into -3.
It's easy.
Okay. People are stumped. Cole, did you have another suggestion? Subtract 3. That's kind of what is going to happen if we do Zach's suggestion. What were we solving for in these two equations? Is there a y to solve for here? Does 3 ever equal 0?
Never.
No. So do I even have to write this? No? Noel. Don't be popping caps over there. Okay. All right. Does 3 ever equal 0? Does 3 ever equal 0?
Never.
No. So I don't even have to write this. People always do that, and it's so strange. I get it. Does the 3 bug you guys? Do you want to get rid of it? It just disappears out of thin air. Can I, if it's bugging all of us and we just can't handle the 3 being there, what we can do is we can divide it out. Because this is saying 3 times all this stuff. If we divide both sides by 3, they go away. 0 divided by 3 is still 0, right? Okay, so that's how you would get rid of that. Questions?
Okay, yeah. I was like, you can't just throw away a number.
You can't just throw it out. That's true, just because we don't like the number 3. All right, questions? One last one, and then we're done. Another one, you guys. So we have a few people who have not done their factoring quiz, the a cubed plus b cubed. I'm going to get those people after our notes. And then, starting tomorrow, you guys are going to have factoring quizzes that look very similar to these, without the solving part at the end. You're just factoring. All right?
Out loud or
On paper. You guys are going to get little slips of paper. All right. What did we say we always want to do? We always want to have something equals what on the right? 0. So can somebody make a suggestion about how I would get a 0 on the right-hand side of this equation? Olivia.
Subtract x plus 3x.
Cool. Subtract x and 3x squared. Everybody give it up for Olivia. Those cancel. Those cancel. So, does somebody have a good way of writing this out on the left-hand side? In other words, should there be a particular order that I should write all this stuff in when I rewrite it? Or can I just do it in any way that I want? Tyler. Go ahead, yeah.
X cubed minus 3x squared minus x plus 3 equals 0.
Excellent. Give it up for Tyler.
Yay!
Now, why did he pick that order? Because I think that is a fabulous order. Where did he pick it? Did he just decide he wanted to do it in that, like alternate the 1s and the 3s and it looks better that way, or what? Liz?
You have to put the strings exponent. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying it right. So, that's good. So, everybody give it up for Liz, and then I will repeat what she just said. Seriously? Everybody give it up for Liz.
Yay, Liz.
Okay, so she said we have to have the highest exponent first, followed by the next highest exponent, followed by the next, and so on. So we go 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's awesome. Now what? Dot, 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 question mark. Michael. Oh, nicely done. Everybody give it up for Michael. He said we factor by grouping. Now, if we think back, how did you pick that? Let's start there. Just cause, okay.
What is that?
Okay. So I'm resting my foot on this thing, and this little guy kept getting in the way. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. This little skeleton guy. Somebody found it over by Thane's desk, I think, a while ago. Isn't it nice? Okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Just cause. No, back when, last week when we were talking about factor by grouping, we said if you have 4 terms is when you factor by grouping. So, we have 2 choices. Either 2 and 2, or some version of 3 and 1. Desi? What's that? 3 and 1? Okay. Why? Okay. Okay. Clap if you agree with Desi. Clap if you disagree. Clap if you're not really sure. Okay, that's cool. Here, let me give you... There's one way specifically that you can tell it's a 3 and 1. What is a big difference, one difference between these two? Sloan?
They have
me regurgitate or summarize what you just said. So this one has a lot of the same letters. This one has a different letter in it. This one has a Y combined with X's. That's a good clue. That's a very good clue that you're not going to be doing the 3 and 1. This one you do 3 and 1. What else? What is x squared plus 6x plus 9? Go ahead. That's good. A perfect square trinomial. Everybody give it up for Sloan. X3 and then times 2. We get what's in the middle. That's how you can tell you're grouping 3 and 1 together. Otherwise, what is the other option? 2 and 2. There's 1 and 3. That's a different version of 3 and 1. Okay, so x cubed minus 3x squared, that's the first group. Negative x plus 3, that's the second one. Okay, everybody yell out. X cubed and negative 3x squared, what can I factor out?
X squared.
Nicely done, the two of you. Where is everybody else? Woo! Good Lord. All right, so what's left over inside the parentheses?
X minus 3.
All right, everybody give it up for Lorenzo. Okay, next one. What do we factor out of negative x plus 3? Okay, good. Lorenzo, how did you know it was a negative 1 instead of just 1?
Because I wanted it to be x minus 3, so you take out the negative 1, the negative out of the x, so you take out the negative out of the 3. I don't know.
That's a very good suggestion. Everybody give it up for Lorenzo. Okay, Deanna.
Essentially, if you multiply two negatives, then you get a positive, so it would have been like -1 times.
Excellent. Everybody give it up for Deanna. Right. If we factor out a negative 1, negative x divided by negative 1 is positive x, positive 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3, so we match in the parentheses. Okay? Now, what does that look like factored? What is the factored form of this? Brandon? Cool. Everybody give it up for Brandon. All right. Now, is that completely factored all the way? No. What's wrong? Don't stop till you get enough. Well done. Okay. What do we do next? Aiden.
You make it so that parentheses equals 0.
Okay. There's something that can be I agree. There's something that can still be factored. We want to factor completely before we do anything else. What is it that can be factored left? Zach. Okay. X squared. X squared minus 1. That's good.
So it would be x parentheses -1 x and then parentheses -1 squared.
Okay. I'm going to write how many parentheses we're supposed to end up with here, but what do we think? Sloan?
Okay, it would be x plus 1, x minus 1.
Cool. Everybody give it up for Sloan.
Yeah.
That's this right here. For 5 extra credit points. Who remembers what x squared minus 1 is called? What is the correct term for it? For 5 extra credit points.
5 extra credit
For
points?
5 extra credit points, x squared minus 1 has a very specific name. Shuggy? Not quite. Not quite. Desi? Cool. Everybody give it up for Desi. Difference of 2 squares, and that's how it factors. All right, so now, somebody read to me. If we set each of these equal to 0 and solve, when I solve the first one, I get x equals what?
0. Oh, no, 1.
Zach?
-1.
Okay. 1 and 3. Awesome. Everybody give it up for Zach. Okay. Questions? All right, you guys. Nicely done today. We are starting our mega factoring quizzes tomorrow. Mega factoring. There are 6 problems per quiz. What's up, Zach? Yep, we have notes and you'll have a quiz afterwards. All right, everybody send us off.
Yeah.